Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Black Ops 3, although we're not going to be talking about Black Ops 3 today, we are going to be talking about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and specifically the weapons of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare is said to have more weapons than ever, with rumors going around that the weapon count in Infinite Warfare is going to be in the hundreds. I've heard people talking about that, although I've yet to see an actual source for that, but to put that into context, Black Ops 3 shipped with 25 primary weapons, I believe it was 25, and 6 secondary weapons, which is not a whole lot if you compare it to the hundreds that people are saying are going to be in Infinite Warfare. That sounds absolutely revolutionary. It is not confirmed at this time whether or not weapon variants are going to be in Infinite Warfare, but it is confirmed that certain weapons in Infinite Warfare will have multiple functions, which may actually contribute to the overall number of weapons in Infinite Warfare that people are talking about. You see, I read about this in a recent article in Game Informer, and I wish I could link you guys to it, but how Game Informer works is you either have to buy the physical magazine itself, or you have to buy a digital subscription to it, and I can't show that stuff in a video, so unfortunately you guys are gonna have to either go and buy a Game Informer magazine or download a Game Informer magazine, something along those lines. I downloaded it just so I can get some context to this stuff, and in that magazine they revealed to us that the Infinite Warfare is going to have different weapon manufacturers, and each of these weapon manufacturers will have a gimmick, as it were, focusing on one style of weapon. This is very similar to one of my favorite game series, Borderlands. In Borderlands, there are several weapon manufacturers that each focus on different styles of weapons. For example, Torque brand weapons are known for always being explosive weapons and their iconic race car style paint jobs. Malawan brand weapons are always sleek, futuristic, and elemental powered. Jacob's weapons are all old school wood and metal. They are usually double barrel shotguns or sniper rifles or 6-shooter pistols and stuff along those lines, right? They each have their own specific thing. And in Infinite Warfare, we're going to have 5 or 6 fictional manufacturers that are going to have something along those lines. So there's going to be Kendall Ballistics, which is going to be a company that makes classic military grade weapons like M4s. They're said to make weapons that we will recognize, but with a futuristic touch. None of these weapons are confirmed, but I'm assuming that we're going to see weapons styled after the M16, the M4, the AK, the SCAR, so on and so forth. Classic, old school Call of Duty weapons, but with a futuristic twist. Those are going to be the kind of weapons that we're going to see in the game that are going to be made by Kendall Ballistics. The next company I want to talk about is going to be Mishimo, which is going to be a Japanese company that focuses on fast-firing energy weapons. You see, in Infinite Warfare, we're going to have 2 different types of weapons. We're going to have ballistic weapons, which basically means bullets. We're going to have traditional weapons that actually shoot bullets. And then we're going to have energy weapons. These weapons are going to be unique due to the fact that they are going to be using energy cell ammunition, and they're also going to have multiple functions a lot of the time. Mishimo is going to have a weapon in the game that is basically going to be a submachine gun that can be swapped to a shotgun mode. So you use a bunch of your energy cell ammo as a submachine gun, then you swap the shotgun mode, and then you can spend the rest of your power cell, and then power cells apparently can be recharged in a way to regenerate ammo. It's also said that most Mishimo weapons will have multiple functions, things that we have never seen the likes of in Call of Duty really before. I mean, we have seen some in the past, like Advanced Warfare's Ohm, but not to this extent. Apparently, there's going to be multiple weapons like that, and most of them are going to be made by Mishimo. EDI is another company that's going to be in Infinite Warfare that is going to focus on experimental weapon designs and energy weapons. These ones will be super high quality and will be some of the most advanced weapons available to us in Infinite Warfare. Another manufacturer is going to be Atomic Dynamics, which is going to specialize in raw designs, prototypes, as well as experimental technology. These weapons are going to be really rough around the edges. They're going to have exposed wiring and capacitors. They're going to be big and bulky. I'm picturing something along the lines of pipe weapons from Fallout 4, or maybe bandit weapons if you're more akin to the Borderlands series. Big, nasty, rough weapons. The final weapons manufacturer we're going to be covering today is going to be Fujiwara, which I think I pronounced that right. I'm not even entirely sure. I've only read it and never actually seen it pronounced, but it's going to be Fujiwara, which is going to be another Japanese company that specializes in energy weapons with artistic and extravagant designs. These are going to be super high class, and I picture them to be much like the weapons from Mishimo, but a lot fancier. One weapon that they mentioned specifically is going to be the Mod 2, which is going to be a long-range submachine gun. As soon as they said that, I pictured something like the MTAR-X from Call of Duty Ghost that you can rotate and then pull apart into akimbo machine pistols. That sounds absolutely insane to me. You take a submachine gun, then you pull it apart, and now you have dual-wield machine pistols. That sounds nuts to me. It isn't said whether or not the weapon can be put back into submachine gun mode, but I'm definitely interested in weapons like that because that sounds really fun and interesting. You basically take one weapon, but it turns out it's actually 2 weapons. That sounds really cool to me. That's very interesting. And those are 5 of the weapon manufacturers that they described in Game Informer, and they said that there's going to have 5 or 6 fictional manufacturers in this game, so one is going to assume perhaps there's a secret 6th one that maybe we don't know too much about. Maybe they're going to have it as part of DLC. Maybe they're going to have it show up at a later date. Maybe they're going to be available only in supply supply drops. Who really knows, right? I don't even know if supply drops are going to be in this game. They didn't mention anything specifically about that in the article that I read anyway. But it is very cool that they're going to have so many weapons in Infinite Warfare. And not only are they going to have a lot of weapons, but there's going to be a lot of very fun and unique weapons. And that sounds very cool to me. I did a video a while back that got a lot of flack because I said I was excited for Infinite Warfare. And heaven forbid somebody actually have a positive opinion of Infinite Warfare so far. And in that video, I mentioned one of the reasons I was excited for Infinite Warfare specifically was the fact that they're going to be set in the future and they have free reign to do whatever they want with the weapons, and we're going to see a lot of fun and interesting weapon ideas like we saw back in Advanced Warfare. And they've only confirmed that even more with this article, which talks about Kendall Ballistics, Mishimo, EDI, Atomic Dynamics, as well as Fujiwara, because all these weapon manufacturers are going to be making really fun and interesting weapons, and they're all going to be very unique from the other companies. That's very cool to me. I think that's a really cool system that they're implementing, and I'm very happy that Infinity Ward is really innovating in terms of the weapon design in their game. It's not just going to be a bunch of random lasers and stuff like that, but they're actually going to have a lot of actual detail to the weapons and a lot of extra functionality. That sounds pretty awesome, and that's definitely a step in the right direction. If they're going to continue having futuristic Call of Duty games, they need to actually innovate and expand upon the idea of a futuristic theme, and that definitely seems to be what they're doing here with Infinite Warfare's weaponry, and I could not be more excited to learn more about this. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I hope you guys all found it helpful and informative. If you did, please drop me a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.